It's the Wrestling Caucus. I'm Peter A.
I'm Smiley Arriaga.
First caucus of 2022. Lots to talk about, Smiley. I guess we could start with, briefly, because there's not really much to say about the show. Game Changer Wrestling just had GCW for short. They just had their biggest show ever at the Hammerstein Ballroom. This was their first time on pay-per-view, right? Mm-hmm. As well as Fight. They've been on Fight for forever, but this is the first time on traditional pay-per-view. The biggest audience they've ever had. Man, I didn't watch the whole show. I watched 2 matches, right? But here's the thing. You can go back, you can take any 2 matches from Wrestle Kingdom, right? And be like, oh my God, this is a big show. I watched Jon Moxley and Homicide, right? And then I watched Alley Catch and Ruby Soho, right? So Alley Catch, one of the most popular stars people they got, right? And Ruby Soho is pretty popular now. She's a name, right? I watched that match, and it was not very good. It wasn't very good. It was below average, right? It was just okay. It's nothing special about it. But it's the biggest show with one of your biggest stars. And it was just a their match. It was just whatever. And then I watched Jon Moxley and Homicide. And again, it was fine. It was, but it's this is the biggest show you got. And I understand they had timing issues, and also the crowd didn't give a fuck about any of these matches, really. There was pockets of cheers, but no one really cared. But it was just I don't know. I was watching we watched that Homecoming show about 2 years ago. And that made me feel, okay, GCW is kind of interesting, right? I saw Ricky Shane Page and that huge angle they had with Nick Gage, and Leo Rush came back.
There's also the blow-up doll match. Let's not forget. That may have been, in hindsight, a red flag for all the shit that they're doing now.
Yeah.
That's the shit they leaned into. It's funny how you said timing issues. The only reason, from what a friend of ours told us, the only reason why the Moxley and Homicide match had timing issues was because all the goofy crap was taking up time.
Yeah, I heard Matt Cardona.
And I think Janela's match.
Yeah, not for me. Again, we'll talk about this when we talk about AEW, but
it kind of goes hand in hand because all the corny GCW crap is some of the corny GCW crap is leaking into AEW.
Well, you know what? With GCW is an independent, small promotion that's getting bigger. They don't have national television. All they have is the smallest audience possible. So that's what they appeal to, right?
Yeah,
the problem is, let's say if they get TV, even if they get an Access kind of network like Impact does, right? Or they get an MLW type of deal. They get on beIN Sports or whatever. You can't do that kind of shit because it's only going to appeal to the smallest possible audience possible. But I don't know. It wasn't really for me. I don't know if you've seen anything else from that show, but this was the biggest show they've ever done. And it didn't feel like the biggest show they've ever done. It felt like the smallest. It felt like just another show. I don't know. I didn't really care to watch anything else from the show because, again, like I said, if you you don't have to watch a full Wrestle Kingdom card to make you feel like, wow, this is a big deal. You take 2 matches, even from WrestleMania 21, Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle, you'll feel like, wow, this is WrestleMania. This is a big show.
Show was that was one of the that was for not only the first WrestleMania I saw, but that was the first big wrestling show I've seen. Holy shit.
Yeah, it felt okay, even if you take this is a sample of the biggest show they do all year, you know what I mean? But just GCW show, it just felt like another show. It was just nothing special about it. Nothing really, I don't know. Anyway.
Well, the only special thing about it is that, do you remember the last time a show with, I feel weird saying big show because it's like you said, it was whatever. But the thing is, do you remember the last time that a known wrestling company was having a show at Hammerstein Ballroom? I think that was the only special thing about it. Hammerstein Ballroom.
Ring of Honor was there, but that's it.
Yeah, that's been years ago.
Yeah,
years ago. No, the only special thing, I didn't watch the show because I don't like I said, I don't watch a lot of GCW because that's the shit that they're peddling is the stuff I've been trying to avoid in like wrestling, the goofy, haha, wink, wink. Oh, it's all fake anyway, crap. It's funny, haha, but it's not funny. But the thing is, that's the only special thing that maybe could have like was a part of that show. Like, oh, cool, Hammerstein looks a little like cleaner. That's nice. But other than that, like, I don't want to fucking see. Like, I like Zack Ryder, but I like Zack Ryder when he's like Zack Ryder's a great baby face. I know him as a good like guy. He can easily connect with a crowd. But when he's at yet another baby face that thinks I want to have a heel run, I want to be edgy, but it's just like.
But here's the thing:
it comes off as like I don't believe him.
When Matt Cardona was Zack Ryder, he didn't get a whole lot of TV time. No. The only time he really had a lot of TV time is when he was an Edgehead, really. He didn't have a ton. One, he had a lot of injuries and stuff like that. And also, they didn't capitalize on him when his internet show blew up. They didn't really. They treated him like a total fucking dork. And don't get me started on Kurt Hawkins. What is he now? Brian Myers. He hit another one. Like they didn't utilize him at all. So this is who they are. What they're doing now, this is who they are. So we're getting to know who they really are as wrestlers, and it can appeal to some, but it doesn't really appeal to me what they're doing. It's like, I don't know. I guess their podcast listeners will follow them to wherever, but it's not really for me. I guess we could talk about. You want to talk about the Royal Rumble? You want to talk about Dynamite?
I guess we can't avoid it any longer. I guess we gotta talk about the Royal Rumble.
All right, we'll talk about the Rumble. What'd you think?
Right? Well, at first, I want to say apologize to our listeners. Yes, we said we weren't gonna watch any more WWE crap, but
no. I said I said we won't talk about the show unless it's something big happens. And the Royal Rumble is a big deal, and something big did happen on the show. A few big things happened. So
I mean, it's like a really loud popcorn pop, like oh wow, that was loud, and then this is like it's nothing. Like I'll explain that in a second, because yes, there was a big thing that happened on this show. Well, Ronda Rousey won the Royal Rumble, great, yep. But you know what? But then what sucked the air out of it? Oh my god, I can't believe these people made me watch Raw for the first time in like 4 months. Ronda Rousey won the Royal Rumble, and maybe I'll check her out on Raw. It can't be as bad as like her promos when she before. Like someone learned something, right? I'm going on blind faith here, and I watched this segment with her and Becky Lynch, and it was like she didn't give a shit. She was like. I don't know if this is an insider term or whatever. She was saying, Becky is on my undercard, even though that's like the most fucking anticipated match. Like, what was the match that people have been talking about since, Ronda's shoulders weren't on the mat? Oh, I'd love to see Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey one-on-one. And this idiot, or whoever told her to say this, or whoever told her that made her think it was okay to say this. Oh, Becky is nobody, even though she's the fucking champion, even though she's one of the people you have to pick between. You're going to pick Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, another person who's just like as talented as she is. You want to talk about feeling nothing when she talks? I feel nothing. I think like, I remember in UFC when I first saw Ronda Rousey. And every time after she whipped someone's ass, it was a very quick promo. Like, I'm gonna go get some wings. Like, I'm not doing her justice. Like, but she came across authentic. I even see her on Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, whatever was his name with the night show, with a late night talk show, or whatever. Like, she'll like come across as like a believable, like, even though she'll explain to the host, oh, this is how you snap someone's arm. This is how I do it. Like, this is how I learned. My mom, she would tell like interesting stories about how, like, when she was training as a kid, like her mom was like a judo badass as well. When she was training as a kid, her mom would put her in a freaking arm bar to wake her up as a training mechanism. And I'm just like, these are such interesting stories. But when she's in WWE, I don't know what it is. maybe they make her think it's okay to do this, or maybe someone's writing bad. But it's just, I don't give a fuck. After watching that segment, long story short, after watching that segment with Ronda and Becky, I did not want to see them wrestle. I didn't want to see their anything. Obviously, I didn't watch the rest of the show because why the fuck would I? I couldn't even endure 8 minutes, let alone 3 hours. Like, it's just, yeah. But anyway, yeah, big things sort of happened on. The only good thing I ever hear about in WWE, the only good thing I ever hear about when people say, "Oh, this happened," and I actually look at it, that was actually great. Brock Lesnar, the guy that everyone hates because he's not there all the time or whatever. Brock Lesnar is like the only. He's like the only person who has a soul I see on TV. I don't know. It's just, but that's not enough to get me to watch a 2-night like extravaganza of nothing. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's not more like a rant, but it's just like, Jesus Christ.
The fallout. We could talk about the Rumble, but like the fallout to the Rumble was one of the worst. Like, just like the GCW show, it's like the GCW show. This is the biggest show they've ever done, but it was just flat and nothing. And the fallout to the Rumble was a bunch of nothing. Like that opening segment with Brock Lesnar and Bobby, that was fine, but it was just a whole lot of nothing.
Did you watch the show, like the whole show?
I didn't watch the whole show. I watched like the first hour. I couldn't take it. It was with the Alexa Bliss and the doll and the therapy stuff.
She's
it's just
back?
like, what the doll is almost coming back. Alexa Bliss is back. She's in therapy doing some horrid nothingness.
Wait a minute, those are WWE segments? I thought those are like commercials. Like,
no, dude, this is actually happening on the TV show.
I don't think it's. Well, I don't know, because I think it's. I keep seeing GIFs online, like of her and like in the therapy. I'm thinking it's like snippets from the video game commercial, because I know they're doing a lot of promo for 2K22. I'm thinking it's like from a commercial. These are actual segments, therapy segments.
Yeah, they're no good. It's bad. It's very bad stuff.
Oh my
God. It's bad. I didn't see. I heard the Ronda and Becky thing was disappointing. I haven't seen it yet. They waited till the
boring. It's just like look. It doesn't make you want to see the match. Ronda, okay, pretty much Ronda's like, well, I guess I have to choose who I'm fighting at WrestleMania. I could pick Becky, but she's not on my undercard. And I guess I'm gonna have to pick Charlotte. Or I'm just like, ooh. I'm like, what the? And then Becky came out looking like she came out looking like an idiot. Like she had like you have to watch the segment.
I heard her and her husband had some.
That's the one reason I recommend actually looking this up, because Becky's outfit is like, holy, she looks like a moron.
Okay. You just reminded me. Okay, so the one when I was watching a little bit of that Raw, there was a segment between KO and Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, however you want to call him, and Seth Rollins. There was a KO show, right? And then Seth Rollins comes out equally looking stupid, right? Looking like looking like a 1970s game show host.
Wait, hey, you misnamed him. Remember? Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah,
remember,
right. My bad.
His middle name is now freaking.
Sorry,
let
Seth.
him catch you saying that on the record.
Yeah, I feel bad. But anyway, they were talking about the chamber, right? And then Seth is like, I'm in the what happened? Okay, he said, I'm in the chamber just automatically. And Kay was like, what the fuck? I have to qualify. Why did you just get? And I was just like, I don't know what was going on. And KO sounded like a total loot. Like, I guess he was trying to be a heel, and I don't know what the segment was. Just yeah.
Healing that?
I don't know. He was trying to be friends with Seth Rollins. I don't know what was going on. Maybe I don't know what was. I'm like, what is happening? Like, why is everybody a loser? I don't understand.
Everyone's a loser. Everyone's a loser who doesn't know whether they're a good guy or a bad guy or not.
Why did he invite? I don't know. I haven't watched a whole lot of Raw. I don't know why KO invited Seth to come out. I guess they're buddies now on screen, but it was just like, I don't want to see anything. We're supposed to be getting ready for WrestleMania, and like everyone's a loser. I don't understand. Everyone comes across like a total dweeb.
Because remember, WWE doesn't build stars. All they need is the brand.
Yeah, the brand's helping them. That's it. Oh, you know what I also didn't notice? So at the Royal Rumble, right? when it was Seth and Roman at the end. You remember when Roman was beating the shit out of him with the chair? He didn't sell it the next day. He didn't sell it at all. The only thing he said to KO was like, I'm not 100%. But he wasn't selling everything that happened to him the night before. And again, when he came out, I forgot that happened because they didn't remind us. They didn't remind us that Roman beat the living shit out of him.
Because, like, don't you get it? Like, why would they do such an overplayed trope like selling in fucking pro wrestling? Why would they do that?
Like on Dynamite, right? When 2.0 jumped Jericho, right? And they just beat the shit out of him backstage and threw him against the fence. But Jericho was gone for like 3 weeks. Yeah, he was doing his Fozzy show, but at least they kind of sold they kind of sold the beatdown at the very least. But anyway,
no, that's true. No, like, like they, you know, it actually helps to like. I think selling has become such a lost art that some people don't even know what it is. Like when people are like in a match, like we've seen it live. Like when, example, like when Danielson and Omega were wrestling that fucking amazing match, they were selling, and like some people were like, "Oh, like you're just lying there." I'm like,
"Oh boy." Oh,
like,
boy.
Yo, people have literally forgotten. Some wrestling fans have literally forgotten what selling means.
And then even I was watching, I think it was the first Hangman and Bryan Danielson match. It was towards the end of the match. They're both bloody messes. Hangman goes for the buckshot, and Danielson doesn't duck. He just falls. I was like, this is that's masterful. That is. Anyway, so the Rumble, right? The opening match, I was thoroughly entertained because again, I've been watching a lot of WWE, but I'm like, this was very entertaining. Seth comes out with the Shield stuff, and I'm just laughing my ass.
Oh yeah, he came out in the Shield entrance.
Yeah, it was he's trying to get in Roman's head. He's pissing him off and whatever. They did a lot of old spots and a lot of callbacks to the Shield stuff, which I thought was kind of cool. But they had a nice match until the stupid DQ, which was dumb. Seth has the ropes and the ref counts to 5 and then he DQs him. And it's just like, this is stupid.
Here's another thing.
Yeah.
I cut you off.
No, that was done.
Oh no, like the referee literally put Seth's hand on the rope.
No, he was lifting it up because that's what he lifts him up to see if he's like alive, if if his hand dropped, he has to call the match. So when the ref lifted up, Seth took that opportunity and grabbed the rope. That was smart.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it because, like, pointing out anything like this is like reading too much into it nowadays. Like, he was choked out, right? How the hell did he was halfway choked out.
He was able to get to the ropes. He was able to pull Roman towards the ropes, but then the ref was checking on Seth, and then he lifted up the arm to see, because again, if he lifts up the arm and he drops down, the match is over. So he lifted up the arm, and then Seth grabbed the rope. I thought that was smart. He's sort of playing possum or whatever. I thought it was kind of interesting, but again, the finish was just terrible. And it's, again, listen, I don't care what anyone says. If you're having a quote unquote good match and then the finish is the shits, if it's a big DQ, I don't give a fuck how good the match was. It's over. No, because if you watch a movie and because a match is just, in wrestling, the match is the story. The match is the beginning, middle, and end. If you watch a movie, you're watching for the beginning, the middle, and end. And if you're watching, let's say, The Dark Knight, I was just watching The Dark Knight yesterday, and at the end, the Joker just goes, well, that's the end of the movie, guys, and he just does a raspberry.
And all the actors come and surround him, and they all do an SNL curtain call.
Like, what the fuck is this? I don't care what happened in the rest of the movie. You just told me that everything else is bullshit. So fuck that match, even though I was entertained. And okay, let's talk about
Well, I do have to say something about. I think Seth was getting very much cheered, and it definitely was because he was wearing the Shield gear and like to get in Roman's head. But I think that initial pop came from the fact that when they heard the original Shield theme, I think it hit everyone how stupid Roman's current theme is. It's like, wow, Roman used to have a decent theme. Shit. And this guy.
Well, when he had the theme, he was getting booed out of the building anyway. So.
I mean, yeah, but like this new theme he has is like, Unlistenable.
It's nothing. It's just nothing. It makes people like, because again, WWE's fan base is nostalgia. If a thing happened in the past, you're gonna love it. That's it. That's pretty much it. So, okay. One of the reasons why I wanted to watch this show was for one match, Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. I was a lot of people were probably looking forward to this because for years, Bobby Lashley would get the comparisons to Brock Lesnar, and people were like, "Oh, what?" That was always in the air, right? And to WWE's credit, the build up to the match was pretty good. It was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. Brock is like, Bobby, who the fuck? Amazing. Yeah, it was great. But then this match, it was starting, it was getting good, and then it just the air is out of the room. Here comes Roman Reigns. He gets to and then he's just like, he gets the belt from Paul Heyman, and I get it. And the whole love triangle thing with Roman and Brock and Paul Heyman, it's whatever. I don't really care about that. But he gets the belt, and then he hits Brock, and then Lashley pins him. It's like, one, it makes everybody look stupid. It makes Lashley's title win mean nothing. There's a way to get a MJF. We'll talk about it, but MJF, there was a finish like this, but executed way better. This was kind of like when Triple H helped Kevin Owens win the title. It was just like, he gets the belt, he pedigrees Seth, and then he makes it Seth pin him. It just looks corny and cheap.
That was a Hall of Fame moment creative compared to this shit.
Yeah, it was.
People actually were genuinely excited about, because people actually thought that Kevin Owens' title reign was going to go places. And he was having good matches, but I understand exactly what you mean. The whole is like Triple H, because like Kevin Owens, who's gifted and awesome and believable in his own right. He didn't win the title. Hunter handed it to him.
Yeah, like this match should have been, it was kind of presented as a big deal, but at the end of the day, it's just like, this match should not have been used as like a stopgap between this and Roman and Brock. To me, Bobby Lashley and Roman is way more important than how the booking transpired. I understand.
That should have been at Mania. Bobby and Lesnar.
Yeah, like I understand you're trying to get to Brock and Roman again, but there's many ways you could have done this. You could have done this and still made Lashley look strong and still get some heat going to make people care about this match. I didn't care at the end of the day. I didn't care about to see Roman and Brock. I don't know. It was just nothing. It was a big show that felt like just another show. It was stupid.
Like what you said about you get it. Like I get it too. But here's the thing. A lot of times like these days, like you would, people would express that like, I didn't really like this segment. And with certain wrestling fans, their first initial reaction is to be like, oh, you don't get it. No, listen, we get it. A fourth grader could understand what was going on that night. We didn't like it, not because we didn't get it, because we got it. It was stupid. That's the thing. It was dumb. Sometimes things like this are just like, they're not hard to understand. It's just stupid.
It's stupid.
Like Bobby Lashley does not need anyone's help to beat Brock Lesnar. Bobby Lashley could beat Brock Lesnar in a shoot probably, and everyone's gonna buy that. All you had to do was let these two kill each other. It didn't have to be a 30-minute draw, even though they probably could go 20 minutes. Like that's the thing. This is kind of similar thing I was saying with Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. They could have let them go at least 10 minutes and it would have probably been one of the best matches on the card. But no, we're WWE. It has to be stupid. We can't leave this building. We can't put our heads to pillows tonight unless we give these people, these good paying people, something stupid to watch.
WWE
That's a rule.
Still thinks it's 1998, right? Vince still thinks you keep one anchor, and the anchor is going to steer the ship. It doesn't work that way anymore.
Don't boats have more than one anchor?
yeah, like it doesn't work. Like WWE is, you have a 3-hour show, you got another 2-hour show, WrestleMania is 2 nights now. You cannot put your eggs in one basket. Yes, they're making record profits despite horrid booking. But the thing is, you got to fill these arenas, right? You got 2 nights of WrestleMania, and you only got like one guy that's made to look strong. It's stupid, but they don't care about wrestling booking anyway. So who gives a shit? But it was just a dumb waste of time of a show. I think for the Royal Rumble.
There is one thing. I honestly don't even have a lot to say about the Rumble matches, but
no, there's nothing to say.
There's one thing I was extremely impressed by, and I'm like amazed by. What the hell? Who did Mickie James have to kidnap in order to get the TNA title acknowledged on a WWE show?
She has the goat pictures. Simple.
Oh yeah, she has the goat pictures. Yeah.
Easily, yeah, she has the
goat
pictures.
It's just like, I think that was the most amazing part of the night for me. And also, like, how can you hate Mickie James?
Yeah, Mickie James is
incredible. Like a hardcore country.
She came back looking like a superstar, and the thing, what's funny? Speaking of which, okay, Mickie James is not on WWE TV, right? She looked like a star, right?
She looked happy.
Okay, you know what's interesting? Sasha Banks, right? Sasha Banks entered in at number 1.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm thinking, okay, Sasha Banks is doing all this stuff. They probably got a lot of stuff planned for her, for WrestleMania and beyond, right? Yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, Sasha enters in number 1. She might like go the distance and then maybe get tossed out at the end as like a big shock. Oh my God! But she worked really hard. Well, let's applaud Sasha Banks. She was in there for like a cup of coffee. She had a little thing with Melina. She got tossed out like nothing. And then later on, they did this whole video package for her. Look at all the things Sasha Banks is doing. She's in the Mandalorian and whatever the fuck, the SBs and all that shit.
Yeah, they had all that stuff, all that big promo package for her.
Yeah, and then like, she was like, at least. You would have thought she was the on the show. And then it's just like, wow. You know what's really funny? And then the men's rumble was full of losers, except for like Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar towards the end.
Wait, Drew McIntyre was in the match?
Yeah, he got in there.
I don't remember.
Everybody else was a fucking loser. And then Kofi Kingston. Oh, Big E. He was just the champion. And then he comes in. If you watch the show and you haven't watched WWE in 2 years, and then I told you, like, Big E was WWE champion. He's like, no, you wasn't. He got tossed out like nothing happened. Like, it was just, there was no drama to any of these matches. It was just guys got tossed over and there was a winner. There was no like, oh my God, this guy might win. There was none of that here. It was just a bunch of guys going. It was just nothing happening. It was just nothing. Yeah.
Damn, it seems to be somewhat of a pattern of people of color getting the short end of the stick in this company, isn't there?
Yeah.
It seems to be some sort of pattern. It's almost like it happens like all the time.
It's just you can have a whole lot of people of color on your show because some people have touted WWE's, they have all these black people here and everything, but a lot of them are not treated like. Well, anyway, like listen to look at Kofi Kingston. Right? Kofi Kingston, his whole thing in the Rumble is like, okay, he does a wacky thing to stay in, then gets tossed out after.
Oh, I landed on a freaking coaster on the floor.
he did a stupid thing. God. He did a wacky thing, and then it backfired, or maybe it was on purpose. But it was like it was over. He was in there 2 seconds. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy was a WWE champion too. It was just like, come on. I don't know.
They might as well have shot him with a t-shirt gun as soon as he walked out of Gorilla.
Man, I wasted 4 hours on that show. Jesus Christ.
And $5.
Yeah, it does not make me excited for WrestleMania. All right, anyway, on the other channel, but not the same night, obviously, Dynamite. So, okay, let's get the crap out of the way first, right? AEW has a problem, right? It's not just AEW, but AEW has a lot, on the line. They have a big TV deal, and they're probably gonna get a bigger one soon. They have a problem with kind of leaning they're too inside sometimes. Some of their angles are a bit too inside. Yeah, like I'm watching this show and I'm like, especially with the Rhodes, like I don't know what these Rhodes, Cody and Brandy, I don't know what they're smoking on, but they gotta stop. Like it's like Cody last week, I get everyone, okay, he gets booed, but he doesn't want to turn. But then he says that. He says, want to know why I won't turn heel? Because when I was talking about the revolution, you guys cheered me. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? Who cares? Look, why should I watch you wrestle? You're here to tell me you're about to wrestle Sammy Guevara. Why should I care about you and Sammy Guevara? That should have been your job. No, you didn't. All you cared is about how the fans, what the fans are saying. And they've been doing this. Like, who cares who cares if they're booing you out the building? Either get them to cheer you or get them to hate you. That's wrestling. That's all you have to do.
And here's the thing. Another thing I hate, I know I'm naming a lot of examples, like dumb things wrestling fans say, but wrestling fans gaslight each other so fucking much. Like whenever, I obviously I don't like what Cody's doing. And a lot of responses I get or I hear are, well, you're supposed to hate him. No. Yes, that is partially true. Here's the thing about heels. Yes, people don't like heels. No shit. But here's the thing about a heel. Not only are you supposed to hate them, you're supposed to believe them. There's a difference between MJF and Miz. MJF is a believable asshole, and he's fun to watch. He's really fun to watch. It's fun to see him get under the babyface's skin because they're going to come back at him. And, it's friction. It's fun to watch. With the Miz, it's like, yeah, you hate him, but not because he's, no disrespect to Mike the Miz, the person. Like, I'm sure he's a great guy. But in terms of as a TV character, his heel persona is more goofy. It's like, I get it's like, oh, haha, wink, wink. I'm annoying, aren't I? Like, no, but you're not fun to watch.
No, when he was doing, okay, I think a better example of that is like the Bryan Danielson angle. The whole idea was like, people take Bryan Danielson seriously as a wrestler. But they don't take Miz seriously as a wrestler.
Yes.
That was the story. That's stupid. But anyway, with Cody, his promo that he cut last week or 2 weeks ago, it was appealing to the smallest section of the wrestling audience. And again, Kenny Omega, when he's doing interviews, he was on the Observer Radio about a year ago. He's talking about appealing to the biggest audience possible. But Cody goes out there, he's talking to a small fraction of Twitter. You know what this is like? This is the new version of when Hulk Hogan burned a copy of the Observer on WCW. Why would you do that? A small percent of the people, of the audience, knows what that is. The vast majority of that are tuning in don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and frankly, they don't care, okay? All you have to do is get me to care about who you're wrestling. That's it. That's all you have to do. If they boo you and they're not supposed to boo you, whatever the fuck, don't draw attention to it. Just go with the flow, okay? There are certain people that have a certain level of popularity that can get away with gray areas, right? Like CM Punk and Eddie Kingston, for example, right? Both fan favorites. But you know what they did? They just said, okay, go out there and let the fans, Austin and Rock, two fan favorites wrestling each other. And you know what the whole premise was? We're both at the top of our game. We're both at the top here, but I am better than you. That was the whole story.
Yeah.
It was nothing else.
And Eddie Kingston's deal was like, I can understand his side. I was like, yeah, I know everyone likes you, but I don't, because I know more about you than these people want to admit.
Great.
Like he was naming like a lot of the negative things about Eddie Kingston named a lot of the negative things about CM Punk. But long story short, it was captivating. You believe them. You believed both of them.
Yes, it wasn't it wasn't inside. It was just, they were just telling a story, a simple story. Don't get, if you say, well, I don't want to be a heel. I'm a baby face. But like, please don't bring the backstage, don't bring up your production meeting to the ring on television.
Hey guys, are you ready to see our segment? We worked hard to memorize our lines. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like,
there's nothing to like get invested in with these people. There is nothing. And then, okay, fucking Brandy Rhodes comes out there for no reason. She's on Dynamite. Why are you here? She starts, I don't know what she starts talking about nothing. She buries the town for nothing. Why are you here? Who cares? You're not a wrestler. You don't wrestle often. Why are you on TV? And then here comes Dan Lambert, right? I like Dan Lambert, great character. But what were they doing? If you're trying to get, Cody mad, okay, but like you can do this once. They did this already. Like why? Like at the end of the day, I don't care. Like who is this appealing to? Nobody. It's dumb. I
guess it's appealing to all the people who want to see Brandy Rhodes and Paige Van Zandt in a boxing match.
Who asked for this?
I think that's the only. I'm guessing that's the end game here because I don't understand. Like, look, to quote Junior Soprano from The Sopranos, for me, AEW is at the precipice of a major crossroads. They can either be a somewhat believable wrestling company that has good wrestling feuds, i.e. Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Eddie Kingston, MJF, Britt Baker, Sheeta, Serena Deeb, the good people, or they can be a jack-off company where guys like Cody and Brandy and Jericho can like fucking do corny wink wink crap. That's the thing. Even when we want to go see AEW live, both shows, there were stuff that like, wow, there was stuff that I saw and I was like, wow, this is like, wow, the cutting edge of pro wrestling right now. And then there's no in between. Then there's stuff that's like, what the fuck is this? This is on national TV? What the hell? Like, I don't know. Like, they got to decide. For me, they got to decide what they want to do or what kind of company they want to be. Because if they're leaning towards the crap, I don't know how long. I don't know how long I'm going to be a fan of the show. If they keep leaning towards like stuff like MJF versus CM Punk, and like Punk versus Kingston, Bryan Danielson versus anybody, because clearly this guy. And you know, like I like how Bryan Danielson hasn't been messing with any of the goofy people. Well, he did kill some dark. You see, he did wrestle some of the Dark Order guys, but those matches made sense because he destroyed them. He didn't go 50-50 with them. Not that I remember.
Hangman's friends. He's trying to get Hangman. That's sense. It. Simple story. Sense, yeah. Simple story. That's all I want. See, Cody, I give Cody credit. Cody reinvented himself leaving WWE, right? And I'm reading Young Buck's book.
Yeah, at first he did.
Yeah, I'm reading his book. You know what they said about Cody? They said that Kevin Steen called them. He's like, listen, look out for Cody. He's a nice guy. I'm like, okay. And Cody worked hard trying to change, get that Stardust stink off of him, right? But now he's ruining that. He's going out there appealing to the smallest fragment of the wrestling internet community, the smallest fragment, talking about nonsense, overproducing, overthinking wrestling promos. Go out there and sell me something. Get me invested. What you're doing, you're confused. You're making me feel like, what? Huh? I don't want to see you wrestle. I don't care how good you are. You make me not want to see you wrestle.
Yeah, like the last time I saw a good last time I saw a Cody pro that made me go, wow, holy shit, was when when he was cutting that promo about how if I lose to Chris Jericho, I'll never wrestle for the world title again.
Simple.
It was simple to the point, and he started talking about his family, all the things he's fighting for. He says
him and Darby Allin.
Yeah,
yeah. Simple. Just keep it fucking simple.
See, that's the thing. Like with wrestlers, it doesn't matter who you are, what kind of gimmick you have. Like, what matters is what the best things to focus on are what are you fighting for?
That's it.
What is the point of you fighting? I don't know what Cody's fighting for. I don't know what Brandy's fighting for. I know what Bryan Danielson's fighting for. Yep. Bryan Danielson, he wants him and Moxley to be at the top of this company because they are kind of at the top of this company. He wants them to solidify that. Like, we're the best in this company. Why are we gotta play second fiddle to a bunch of jackoffs like Jurassic Express? And I love Jungle Boy, like Jurassic Express, or like all the goofs of this company. We can be the apex. Now, that story can go many ways. They can fight for the tag titles, or Danielson could betray him. Moxley could betray him. It's going somewhere. You know what they're fighting for.
Cody, this could have been like the ladder match they had was fantastic, but that's beside the point. The point is, how are we getting there? This is all Cody had to say. It's like he could have had a legitimate gripe with AEW, like, or Tony Khan with it. He's like, so I'm gone 2 weeks, and you have an interim championship match.
Yeah, you can say that. Oh, that wasn't my idea.
Yeah, this is bullshit. And you know what, Sammy? There's no interim champion. There's one champion. And you know what? Next week, me and you, ladder match, one champion, one belt. Period. That's it. That's it. And if the crowd wants to boo, let them boo. Who cares? Whatever the fuck. That's all you had to do. Okay, you know who I blame for some of this stuff? Not all of it, for some of this stuff. John Cena, right? Love John Cena. I think John Cena is incredible. But that program he had with Roman Reigns, when he went out there, and he said some true things. He said, like, I'm only here because you can't do your job. Because at the time, Roman was getting booed out of the building. He wasn't joining the house.
That is true. That was true.
So that's true. You could just say that. But then he was like, it took you this long to cut a decent promo.
Oh, yeah. He said promo in his promo.
What are you doing? What are you
why? So edgy. Oh, wow. Edgy. I love John Cena, and I laughed my ass off to a lot of that promo. But the thing is, I don't care who you are. I don't give a fuck if you're Chris Jericho. I don't care if you're John Cena. I don't care who you are. If you say promo in your promo, even MJF does it sometimes. I don't think it's his fault. I think people let him do that. They shouldn't let him do that. If you like say promo in your promo, like, okay, even at the end of the Scottish play, Macbeth, for some people who aren't as superstitious as me, in Macbeth, when Macbeth cut that final monologue that he had, like, he didn't say, I'm cutting a monologue right now. He just started fucking talking.
Yeah, you know okay, look, I like when I'm watching like High Fidelity, right? Rob breaks the fourth wall. He talks to the camera. He talks to the audience. But here's what he does. He just has an internal, because it's a novel, right? So he has an internal dialogue, but he's talking to the audience, right? He's saying, you know, he's going over all of his top breakups or whatever, but he doesn't say, you see this shot right here? This is a medium shot. This is a long shot. And the camera is going to tilt and pan throughout this feature-length film that you're all sitting in. Like, he doesn't do that. Like, to me, that kind of stuff is corny. I don't like inside stuff. To get me into this, draw me into a world. Let me get lost in something, okay? I don't want to be reminded of reality. You understand? Stupid. Well, anyway.
Well, one show that we talked about that we kind of disagreed on this, but I argued, like, with Euphoria. I think Euphoria does certain meta things very creatively. Like, there are times where, like, the show to me has a very creative way. Like, sometimes they'll have like segments that show you what's it like to be in a character's head. Like like a character, one of my favorite characters in the show, she's a screenwriter. So one time to explain that she's a screenwriter, because the narrator was saying, oh, she believes that her life is like a movie, and you see her walking off a movie set.
Yeah, but the thing is,
in any other show, yeah, like I get what you mean. Like I know how you felt with that. Like, yeah, it's like, oh, come on, like this is kind of like a little too much. But like at least for me, like I guess specifically because she's a screenwriter and so am I. Like it's a good way to show what I guess they're trying to show, because like this character has always felt like she was outside of her life. She was always like an observer in her own life. So it makes sense that, like, yeah, she views her life as a movie set. Like,
okay, but here's the thing. You said a word that's important here. Explain. You're over, not you, but the show is over explaining that. Subtlety. for all forms of media, subtlety is king, especially in professional wrestling. Especially subtlety. You know what was very subtle? When Bret Hart put the sharpshooter on Steve Austin at WrestleMania, he was bloodied up and he went through a whole match. And you know what happened? Austin just passed out. And you know, that one thing, that said a million things. That one thing. They just went through a grueling match. Yeah. Austin is a stubborn, tough Texan. He didn't want to look weak and tap out. So he just blacked out before he had the opportunity to give up and
it was kind of funny, but it was brilliant actually.
Yeah, subtle. Wrestling now needs to adopt this trope of subtlety. That's what psychology is. That's what all that shit is. Remember, I used that example of Bryan Danielson just falling down, you know, after so he wouldn't get hit by the lariat. Yeah. You know what I mean? We don't know if he actually fell down. Maybe he was playing possum. We don't know. That's for us to figure out. That one little thing that he did just explains so much. When you overproduce, when you overanalyze, when you over-explain, you know, it takes away a lot of the, you know, it takes something away. It's just like, I don't get lost in it. And I don't just, okay, that's great. You know what I mean? That's like when in music, when lyrics are too blunt, not blunt, but like, you know, they're too, you know.
No, but I think
there's a whole lot that's said that could be said with one phrase, or, you know, a certain guitar passage has like, you know, you're shredding, but you can use like Jesus and Mary Chain, you know, just like honey, da 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 da. You know, whatever, you know, it's cool. You know, it's, I don't know. I'm just saying,
they got that, like they got that, like that drum beat is like from the Four Seasons, Frank, that Frankie Valli song.
The Ronettes too. You know, it's just a simple pattern can do a whole lot than just, you know, elaborate string sections and just elaborate guitar solo or whatever the fuck. What I'm saying is wrestling is best when it kept simple. Like if AEW wants to expand their reach, they need to keep their storytelling simple, because the more you get inside, the more you're on Twitter looking at what Twitter says, you're shrinking your potential reach. You're shrinking it. You're keeping it in, like, yes, wrestling has never been more hardcore, but you want to appeal to your people that got you to this dance. When you're peeling back the curtain way too much, you're going to lose a lot of people. You're going to lose a whole lot of people. That's just the truth.
You know, a good example of what you said with the music thing, Kendrick Lamar, he can say in a single line what Jordan Lucas would take an album to say. Like
I'm the Omega. You know, I'm smoking on top fives. You know, he's basically saying I'm better than all you. Straight, simple.
He's literally rolling up top 5 rappers into blunts and smoking that shit.
Easy. Love it.
That's what Bryan Danielson did last night in AEW.
Yeah,
he rolled up everybody's nerd top 5 and smoked on that shit in front of the camera.
You know what's funny? Like, okay, like Will Ospreay, right? You know that Wrestle Kingdom main event with him and Okada?
I didn't see it.
Okay, so here's what happened. Okay, it was a fine. Guess what? Like they tried. They worked very hard. And there was some cool spots, like, you know, Ospreay goes for his Rainmaker, but then Ospreay reversed it to a Spanish Fly. It was kind of cool, right? But here's the problem.
Oh, Okada won for his Rainmaker?
Yeah, he went for the Rainmaker and Okada reversed it into a Spanish Fly. No, Ospreay reversed Okada's Rainmaker into a Spanish Fly. It was cool. But then he did something that was just like, he did so many, it's just too much, you know? There was like 15 minutes of that 45, 35-minute match that was like really good. He climbs up the fucking rig and does like a Jeff Hardy dive off of it. He does like a moonsault or something off it. And he gets right back up and walks around like nothing happened.
You see, I can't. Like, whenever I see
this is a Wrestle Kingdom main event. What the fuck is happening?
See that, whenever I see things like, that's one of the reasons I can't watch Will Ospreay matches, because this is like, for every cool thing he does, for every single cool thing he does about 5 other things that will kill.
Like, I'm taking it out of it. Like, there's no drama. And then he goes to the top. He does this stupid shit where he does this the shooting star press while Okada's hanging off the ropes. It's pointless. It does nothing. Like, there's nothing happening here. Like, why did this need to happen? It's for no reason. Stupid. And Cody's doing the same thing with his fucking promos. Saying a whole lot of nothing for nothing. It's fucking nothing. And then,
I finally get it. Cody is like to his promos what Will Ospreay is to his matches. It's just like a whole bunch of crap that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, like well delivered. But like at the end of the day, you don't care. You know what's funny? Cody's a great wrestler and he's a great talker. He's shown examples in AEW of him telling cutting great. Remember his program with Dustin? The whole premise of it. He's like, I want to kill the Attitude Era. Great. And then Dustin is like, you're an entitled bastard. And then they beat the shit out of each other. It was so simple. It was fucking awesome. Keep doing that, Cody. What are you doing now? What are you doing? Like, it's go away heat now. Okay, all right. Let's talk about something good now because I'm gonna get too angry. Okay, CM Punk versus MJF. What did you think? Go.
Oh, it was awesome. It was very good. Like, I like how they made you think the match was gonna end like how a WWE match would, but then they went longer. Like, oh no. There's not going to be a fuck finish yet. They teased the fuck finish. Like, they even played MJF's music. They made you think that because did he use the ring first or did he kick him in the balls first?
He uses tape to choke him.
Oh
first.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he used the ring after. I love the way they did that. Yeah, it was interesting.
The way they did at the second fuck, there was a part where they teased the fuck finish where they made you think because MJF, he was using his tape to choke out Punk, but the referee didn't see that he's using tape. So after he was, oh wait a minute, you tried to fool me. So the match continued, and it was still, and it got better and better, and then Wardlow came out, and he made you think that he was gonna help Punk, but he secretly slipped the ring to MJF. And I thought that was actually pretty cool. At first, I was like, oh, again? I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Because I'm thinking, wait, this is going to be the night. I'm thinking that he was there to powerbomb MJF, and then Punk was going to do his move and beat him. But no, in a very clever way, they had MJF go over. They had MJF win. Like, I like that. Like, I like how so he can forever say that he was CM Punk's first loss. But
this match was fucking great because you know why? Everything we just screamed about the last 10 minutes, it was a simple story. This is a simple good guy and bad guy story. You have the clear babyface who was, again, I'm not against gray areas, not against it. But in this case, MJF was a clear bad guy that you want to see get his ass kicked. And then CM Punk was the clear hero in his hometown, trying to vanquish this annoying bastard of Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who's like the scum of the earth. And it was just brilliant the way they did it. And I love the idea, like, because MJF, again, he's working like an old school heel. He's not doing a bunch of stuff. He's not trying to impress you. He's not. He's trying to win by any means necessary. And Punk was working his ass off. You saw in storyline he was getting tired towards the end, but MJF was like, he was taking his ass whipping like a man. And he was like, no. Remember when he was Punk was gonna body slam on the apron? He was like, no. I love that. Damn. It was so.
It reminded me if Howard Stern was about to get like a body slam.
It's like, no, save me, please save. No, somebody help. Bang!
Yeah,
it was so good. And I love how they did it with Wardlow at the end. And he looks at CM Punk, but then secretly he's handing the ring off to MJF. Yeah, that was cold. So cool. I was invested. I was like, no, why did MJF? No, come on. And it's just like,
I was like, oh damn.
You know what they did? I think I don't know what Tony Khan is thinking, but like, I don't know what you thought, but I think they're going to do another match. Maybe not at the pay-per-view, maybe in a few months. I think this sets up another match. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, they could do a rematch with Punk and MJF, but I think because like they got to do something to build, because I know they're building between MJF and Wardlow down the line, right?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Coming.
Yep.
So maybe, Oh, like CM Punk wrestled Wardlow already, right?
Yeah, but I think they're gonna do another match too with
Yeah,
Punk
that's
and
what I'm saying.
Wardlow.
Like maybe you can
That
do
should
another
happen
Wardlow match with Punk.
because it's Wardlow's fault. Wardlow came and handed the ring to MJF.
Yeah,
So yeah, they can do that. There's a lot of layers to this. This is very interesting. It's like
yeah.
this is the thing. Like AEW should keep doing stuff like this.
That's what I'm saying. Like you
Yeah.
see, it's either stuff like this or it's Brandy Rhodes and Cody
Oh
Rhodes.
God, Brandy, man. I just no, just no. But anyway, MJF and CM Punk was just like it's classic old school babyface versus heel, and it was nothing like the rest of the show, which is a good thing. You want to be different, you know. And I think it exceeded my expectation for this match. Definitely, it shows that Punk definitely still has it. You know, he's just the good. He's just great. You know, I think this and Eddie Kingston are my favorite CM Punk matches since he's returned to AEW in terms of wrestling. And I've been a fan of CM Punk forever, and this match made me more of a fan of CM Punk, and it's made me more of a fan of MGF too. It just makes me want to see him get his ass kicked down the line, you know. And he's proven to be like not a guy to fuck with. But when he says I'm better than you, he's like he's good, but I don't want him to say it. You know, this is old school classic stuff. You know, like I love this. Yeah.
I like Hangman Page a lot. I do. I'm glad he's champion now, but I'm glad he won the title. MJF should be the next world champion.
Oh yeah.
I think this guy like
thing.
I don't know why
There's a lot.
People,
yeah.
There are two people specifically who I'm like, why the fuck aren't they in the running for the world title? Bryan Danielson, MJF. As of right now.
Yeah.
Like
but
Punk, Punk doesn't really need the championship, but Bryan Danielson, like, name me a bad situation where Danielson had the title.
No. But here's
That's
the thing.
never a bad idea.
Hangman needed to beat Bryan Danielson because again, with AEW, this is the best thing about AEW. The best thing about AEW is they're thinking about the future. You know, because they know Bryan Danielson. Well, no. Bryan Danielson is, you know, he's got a lot. He's in the best shape of his life, probably, right? But he's not going to wrestle forever. He doesn't want to wrestle forever because he's thinking about it. He's family minded. You know, he wants to be with his family. So, but Hangman's got a whole. Hangman is, you know, he's not Bryan Danielson as far as being established as a star, but like Hangman is the future. So is MJF. So him beating him is like, okay, we're telling you these are our guys. And MJF beating CM Punk, there's a whole lot. Like, think about it. MJF is AEW homegrown. So what AEW is saying, him beating CM Punk is like, these are our guys that's going to take us into the future of pro wrestling and the future of this promotion. When I'm watching the Royal Rumble, WWE, which is supposed to be that, I don't get that. All I see is a company like making so much money, and they're going back to what they know. They're not preparing for the future. I don't see it. But anyway, like, okay, the 2005 to me was the last year where WWE was like, our stars are John Cena and Batista. These are our future stars. But anyway, AEW should continue on the path they did in the main event. Keep doing stuff like that. Cut the inside bullshit off because you're losing people if you keep doing that. And that's it. That's it.
And this thing, and it's gonna be a slow bleed out. They think like, oh yeah, someone back there thinks they can get away with this stuff. You can look, you want to do all the inside crap you want, go ahead. I'm just saying, right now, okay, but a few months from now, you're gonna regret doing all this shit. You just focus on like it's called all elite wrestling, not freaking goofy. Not like, you know what's crazy? MJF came from GCW before they were stupid. MJF was from GCW.
No, but listen,
GCW,
I saw MJF in a dodgeball match in Game Changer, and I thought it was funny. I thought it was very entertaining because again, this is an indie show. It's not on TV. It's fun. Whatever. Do I want to see a dodgeball match now? No. But whatever, it's fine. They're just appealing to their audience that's not on TV and whatever. That's okay. There's nothing wrong. The first time I saw Kenny Omega, him and Bryan Danielson were on PWG, and PWG is not on TV. The only way you got PWG is if you got the DVD. They had a John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt match. The whole thing was like, no, I'm John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
No, that's gonna be on AEW TV.
That's what they did. But you know what's funny? When I watched Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega on Dynamite, that they were having a Triple Crown All Japan match.
Yeah,
you know, I was like, it's almost like Kenny Omega was not in DDT. You know what I mean? It was almost like he didn't wrestle a 10-year-old girl or whatever. It was almost like I forgot all about Bryan Danielson teaming up with Kane and saying, I'm the tag team champions. No, I'm the tag team champions. But watching Raw Monday, I would have killed to see that shit. I would have loved to see what John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt matches on Raw compared to all the bullshit.
Kane and Daniel Bryan is way better than what's going on now on Raw.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I actually did enjoy Kane. I mean, like, I understand, like, because it's Bryan Danielson when he's doing stuff like that. It's like, oh god. But like, compared to what I saw on Raw recently, yikes! I would love Kane and
you know what's funny? I like comedy. You know, I've been watching a lot of today. I'm watching Danhausen stuff. Like Danhausen did an interview with Chris Jericho on his YouTube page. It's one of the most entertaining wrestling interviews I've seen in a long time. I was cracking up the whole time. Danhausen is incredible. He is amazing. You need a guy like him. But would I want to see Danhausen for the wrestle Kenny Omega for the world championship? No, I don't.
He shouldn't be wrestling like high profile guys.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be wrestling serious guys.
You can make a lot of money with Danhausen if you know how to.
HFO. Danhausen can mess with Matt Hardy's goofy ass stable.
Please, that sucks.
Go ahead, mess with the Dark Order, but keep away from like the Danielsons and the Punks and the Adam Coles. As much as I love Orange Cassidy and Best Friends, Adam Cole should be with like competing with serious people.
Okay, you know what? You brought up something.
He has Bobby Fish and fucking Kyle O'Reilly with him. Kyle O'Reilly is a problem.
Here's the thing.
I mean problem in a good way.
In a good way, yeah. I know what you mean.
Is very believable.
Of course. But here's what you brought something up. Okay, with Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy, right? Two people I love to death. But here's the thing. I think you're right. These two should be apart.
Yes.
No. But here's the thing. Unsanctioned matches, right? In AEW make no sense. Here's why they don't make any sense. So Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa loved it. Would I go back and watch it? Absolutely. It's amazing.
Yeah.
One of the best matches.
That's awesome. That's actually awesome.
Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy. Was the match entertaining? Was I entertained? Yeah. But here's the thing. AEW's whole thing is wins and losses matter. For the most part, they've been doing a good job with that. Guys that are getting title matches are guys that, like Sammy Guevara, he doesn't lose like that. He's a credible guy, right? The win-loss record, when executed properly, is credible. It's great. So the unsanctioned match, it makes no sense because, you're telling us, okay, that's good. You're telling us that this AEW has nothing to do with this, that we're not responsible for anything that happens here. That's okay. I understand that. But here's the thing. You have an AEW official officiating a match. You have an AEW official counting a pinfall. We are watching you count a pinfall. And then you're going to tell me that it doesn't count, even if it's unsanctioned, whatever. Just don't do it. Don't muddy the waters.
Or just have a no disqualification match.
Just have any kind of make match. It count. If I see it on fucking television, it fucking counts. I don't care. That's the thing. See, again, I had no problem with Britt Baker and that whole situation. Because one, Thunder Rosa is she more or less over than that period? The answer is she's just as over. In fact, a little bit more over than that time period because the match was so good. Britt Baker is the world champion. She's still super over. So you won. But here's the thing. Just don't do these kind of matches anymore. Every match that I see on TV needs to count. I'm sorry. There's been great unsanctioned matches in the past. in the past. What's it called? Shawn Michaels and Triple H at SummerSlam, that was unsanctioned. But here's the thing: WWE doesn't verbally say they're not trying to do pro wrestling, right? So wins and losses over there don't really matter. But that's, whatever. That's another thing you can talk about. But like, we saw Shawn Michaels pin Triple H. We saw it with our own eyes.
No, but here's the difference with that match. You see, I actually didn't mind how they used the term unsanctioned for that feud, because it wasn't about like, oh, the win doesn't matter. It's unsanctioned because if you two kill each other, we can't be held liable.
Exactly. I agree with that.
That's the point of an unsanctioned. To me, that's the point. I thought that was the point of an unsanctioned match.
Yeah, but AEW
saying, well, the win doesn't matter. I'm like, oh fuck.
No, if you have wins and loss records, every wrestler that appears on TV, they mention the win and loss record. No match should be on. If you watch the NFL, there's no such thing as an unsanctioned football match game. There's no such thing as that. There's no such thing as an unsanctioned NHL hockey game. No such thing as an MLB baseball. No. The unsanctioned baseball, it's intramural. That it's not major league. So no more unsanctioned matches, at least for the foreseeable future.
At least don't call them that, and make sure they count like towards the win and loss record.
They have to count. Every match I see on television that an official is counting a pinfall, it counts. How
about instead of an unsanctioned match, how about a no DQ match or a cage match, or like if you want them to kill each other, or maybe sometimes how about have a wrestling match where you just,
it doesn't matter what the match is as long as it counts, as long as the winner is a winner and the loser is a fucking loser. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. But at the end of the day, at the grand scheme of things, Adam Cole's gonna be fine. Orange Cassidy's gonna be fine. But here's the thing: keep these motherfuckers apart. Keep Orange Cassidy where Orange Cassidy is. Let him be Orange Cassidy, and let Adam Cole be Adam Cole with Red Dragon, and eventually wrestle the Young Bucks and make a lot of money. Great, just keep doing that. Okay.
I think you should be away from the Young Bucks too. But
that's what people want to see. That's the thing. People want to see another Red Dragon and Young Bucks match. They want to see that again. I want to see that again, because when it's all said and done, when the Bucks get bucking, they deliver. But the point is,
you mean clucking like birds?
Yes, whatever. But here's the thing: all matches should count. That's all I'm saying. Matches should count. No fucking unsanctioned matches. If you have win-loss records in your promotion, you have officials officiating the match. That's it.
These people, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Tony Khan is like two different people. Like sometimes, like one day he's like, you know what, guys, I want to put on the best possible wrestling show, and then some days he's like, I'm gonna take the worst possible fucking advice ever.
Brandy, get out there and stink up the joint.
But here's the thing I appreciate about Tony Khan. In the past at least, whenever he has done something stupid, he quickly is like, oh no, we gotta correct this.
The last fucking Brandy Rhodes thing. Yeah, get Brandy Rhodes the fuck off the TV. Please.
Like the Nightmare Club. That's the thing. And when that happened, I appreciate that even Brandy Rhodes admitted, this shat the bed. This is never gonna happen again. But she lied because worse things are happening.
You're back. What do you know? You're back stinking up the joint. Anyway, go watch MJF versus CM Punk if you haven't. And that's it. And
It's like,
and that's where we're gonna.
Watch Bryan Danielson. Like after John Moxley murders Wheeler Yuta, Danielson has a great promo with him.
Listen, and you know what? As much as we dumped on Cody because he deserved it, that ladder match with Sammy Guevara. Watch that if you didn't see it.
Ladder match was fine.
Very good.
No, look, it was good. Look, listen, like the ladder, like Cody. I don't remember last time Cody had a bad match, a good feud. I don't remember last time he had a good feud.
Listen, just keep it simple. That's the lesson of the day, folks. Keep it simple. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm Peter A.
I'm Smiley Arriaga,
and you can follow us on the socials. At the Wrestling Caucus, Instagram, the Wrestling Caucus, Twitter. All the archives of the Wrestling Caucus are on peteraradio.com/the Wrestling Caucus, and of course, on your favorite podcast app. All right, later days.